Hey guys, welcome to what I think is my third book haul in the span of a month. And it's no small haul. This has been a little bit excessive. May was my birthday month. I got a lot of books for my birthday, bought a lot of books with birthday money, and kind of just used it as an excuse to buy more books. Because book buying, I find, is a separate hobby from book reading. I love both hobbies, but I like to, go hard sometimes, and I definitely did this month. I probably won't be buying nearly so many books in the next few months, so I have lots of time to read some of these books. So I have a few main places I've got some of these books. I bought a few new, brand new with birthday money. I also pre-ordered a few. I got some from Little Free Libraries. I ordered some from Book Outlet, and I got some as gifts for my birthday. And I discovered the world of secondhand bookstores this month, so I got a bunch of books from there. So where should we start? We'll go maybe like smallest piles to biggest piles. It doesn't really have any rhyme or reason. The first thing I found is the book Book Love for $6 at Indigo. I have loved this book since I read it 2 years ago now, I think it was. They're just tiny little comics about bookish life. I have no idea what this one's even about, this particular page, but I feel like every page just screams me. It's like somebody spied on me and my bookish habits and wrote comics about it. Apparently I still have my receipt in here. I have read the other books by this author, and personally this one is by far the best. I really loved it. So I'm excited to have that on my shelf and pick it up and reread it as I feel fit. Now let's go on to the books that wonderful subscribers sent me. The first one I received is this one, How to Pray, A Simple Guide for Normal People. Gloria sent this one to me for my birthday because I had a video on my personal channel sharing that one of the things I want to learn this next year or to look into more is how to pray. I want to get better at praying. I want to read some books on prayer, etc. So she sent this to me. She said she read it and really enjoyed it, and I'm excited to get started. Then a lovely subscriber, Charlene, sent me 2 books in this Snow White with the Red Hair series. So this is a manga series. I don't know how many books are out, but she got me book 1, which I love the cover. I'm really drawn to this. I can't wait to start it. And then this one is book 2. So I'm assuming this is just like a Snow White retelling. I won't even try to pronounce her name. She's famous for her naturally bright red hair, and the Prince of Tanbarun wants her all to himself. But when she escapes into the woods of the neighboring kingdom, a young man named Zen and his 2 friends come to her aid. But who is Zen really? So I'm curious. I'm excited to try more manga. I've really enjoyed some that I've read, and then like recently really not enjoyed some, but I trust Charlene's judgment here, so I'm excited about that. I had never heard of that series before. So we'll go on to the books. I got Amazon gift cards from my parents and my brother and sister-in-law, so I decided to use that to buy some newish books, like books that have not been previously purchased, read by other people. I'm like all big on the secondhand books, but sometimes you search and you can't find certain books. So I pre-ordered 2. I most definitely pre-ordered Jamie Jo Wright's new book that's coming out in October. That one's called The Premonition of Wither's Farm. Don't really know anything about it. It's probably dual timeline like hers normally are. Kind of spooky-ish vibes. I love her stuff, so I bought that one. And then I also pre-ordered Joanna Davidson, I forget how to pronounce her last name. Her new book is called The Lost Melody. I think that one also comes out in October. So I'll probably share those in a book haul when they actually get here, but I pre-ordered those ones. And then I ordered book 2 and book 3 in the Maisie Dobbs series. Now this is a bit of a problem. They're different sizes. That really bothers me. Book 1 is the same size, and then other books that I have are like this size. Oh well, I can get over this. It's okay. So this is considered a mystery series, but it's also like very historical fiction, but it's not really like a historical mystery, but kind of. I loved book one. I've raved about it in my like favorite books of the year so far video and many other times, so I won't more than that. But so I got Birds of a Feather, which is book 2, and then Pardonable Lies is book 3. I think. I also wish that they would come back with putting numbers of books on the spine. If they're in a series, it should say somewhere what number it is. And then I also went and I picked up Skyward Flight. This is the collection of novellas that take place in the Skyward series. Interestingly enough, Brandon Sanderson wrote these with someone, so I'm very curious about that. I haven't read these. The first one is 160 pages, which makes sense, but then they get a little bit longer. And then that one's a little bit thicker, and then the third one, it's like true Sanderson form. They're pretty much full novels themselves. So I have Elantris to read this month, and then I think I might pick this up after and kind of get caught up on the Skyward series. I did read the book that comes before, it's not a book, it's a very short story for Sanderson. It's like 43 pages. That comes before that, back at the beginning of May, for the short story readathon. And so I'm curious to read the rest of the stories. Then also, this is random, but I got a postcard. It's not random, it's not a book. But I got this cool South Dakota book postcard from Ashley. She's one of my subscribers and patrons, and it was really so sweet of her. Now I have 2 American postcards, and I think I should maybe like start a collection or something. If 2 can be considered a collection, I've got 1 started. Then, like I do, I went to a couple little free libraries. I actually only got 3 books. Some of them I'm very excited about. I mean, 2 of them I'm super excited about. One I'm like, I'm not sure I'm gonna like it, but we'll see. So the first one is, this is The Bands of Mourning. This I think is book 3 in the Mistborn second era series. So Sanderson does this. He's got the first 3 books of Mistborn are kind of like one series, and then he's got the series isn't finished. I think there's 4 or 5 books in this series that are like part of Mistborn but not. I don't really know how it works, but I never see Sanderson in little free libraries, so that was really exciting. I do plan on reading this series at some point after I read a few more of his books, but it's cool to find one there. Then I did share this on my Instagram stories, and lots of people sent me messages about how excited they were about this one. This is Magic for Marigold. So this is an L.M. Montgomery book. I believe this is a standalone. They don't reprint a lot of her stories, I find. You get the Anna Green Gables series, or at least the first few. Sometimes the places don't even print the whole series. You get the Emily series and a couple of random books, but so many of hers aren't in print anymore, or don't seem to be. So I was so excited about this. Don't really know anything, but I'm down there for these vibes. I just love the whole Ellen Montgomery, PEI, all the vibes that she has. After reading Jane of Lantern Hill this month, okay, this one's a little dirty. It needs a little bit of cleaning, but that's okay. It was free. I can do that. Okay, and then this other one is the one that I'm kind of like, I'm not sure I'm really gonna like this, but it was in a little free library, so I'm gonna take it, and if I don't like it, I'll just put it back in one. And this is Marcus Zuzak's Bridge of Clay. Now, 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, when I first joined BookTube, one of the first booktubers I was watching was Bree from Call Me After Coffee, and she was always raving about this book. And from her raving, I really don't think I'm gonna like it, but she talked about it so much that I'm really curious to try it. And I really did enjoy The Book Thief by him, but I hear it's very different. So I don't know. I'm gonna go into this with low expectations, but I'm excited that I found it for free so I can give it a try. And if I don't like it, I can just pass it on. Okay, and like always, there's always got to be a book outlet haul. That's kind of like my therapy, I think, is scrolling Book Outlet and getting really excited when I find new books that they have in stock that I haven't seen before. And so I've got a bit of a variety here. This was 2 orders. If you haven't placed a Book Outlet order, I'll put my referral code in the description box. You'll get $5 off your first order, and then I get $5 off of mine, so it's win-win for both of us. So I have a couple Agatha Christie here. The one that I'm really excited is The Moving Finger. I'm really excited for. I get so excited I don't even finish my sentences. This is a Miss Marple story and was one of my first Agatha Christie I ever read, and I reread it back in March and enjoyed it. It wasn't as amazing as I remember now that I've read more of hers, but I'm really excited to have this to add to my collection. I'll just go through and find the other Agatha Christie here. I found A Deadly Affair, Unexpected Love Stories from the Queen of Mystery. Oh wait, is this one not even a mystery? A new collection of stories about love gone horribly wrong. Oh, okay, I just picked it up because of Agatha Christie. I do know that she did, I'm pretty sure she wrote some like romance books, didn't she? But they were under a different pen name. This does say mystery / detective, but they obviously have some kind of love element. I'm not sure. I'll read that one anyway. I'm gonna read all my Agatha Christie one of these days. And then I got The Underdog and Other Stories. This is a Hercule Poirot collection. So I do have a bind up of all the Poirot stories. So these ones are probably in there, but sometimes it's nice to read them from a smaller book than a big book. And then I got Terry Blackstock's Cape Refuge. I believe this is the first book in the Cape Refuge series. She usually writes mystery suspense. When the kindest couple in Cape Refuge is found murdered at their church, their daughter will have to find the killer before her own husband is convicted. So I read a lot of Terry Blackstock in high school because I went to a Christian school and they had like 10 different authors throughout the entire library. So as an avid reader, I read everything in the library, and she was one of my favorites. This one was published back when I was in high school, so there's a good chance I read it back then, but it's been a few years, like 20, since this was published, so I won't remember anything. So if it's a reread, I'll reread it. If it's a first read, I'm still gonna read it. Either way, it will feel new to me. And then one of my patrons over on Patreon mentioned this book, The Heart Reader of Franklin High. This is a Terry Blackstock book I've never heard about. This is contemporary fiction. It says one minute he was snoring in his bed, the next minute he was having the strangest dream. And now, well, now Jake is hearing things, voices from people all around him. So this is not the first one of her books that branches out of the mystery suspense genre, and I just want to read all her books, so I grabbed that one as well. Then I hummed and hawed about buying this book because I really did enjoy it, and so I decided to go for it. And that is Finlay Donovan is Killing It. And the reason I hummed and hawed is because I feel like this book gets really close to a few things that I don't really like in books, but it doesn't go past them. And this was like laugh out loud funny. I could see myself rereading it, so I figured it was worth having on my shelf. It's about a woman who is a writer, and when she's at lunch one day with a publicist or something, someone overhears her and thinks that she is an assassin for hire and tries to hire her, and she kind of gets in some unfortunate situations, and it's hilarious, and it kept me at the edge of my seat, so I enjoyed it. Okay, now there's a little bit of a theme. I got more Maisie Dobbs books. I don't know, I think there's 17 books out now. I could be wrong, but right around there. And these are, I don't know what numbers. Let's see. I think this one, I have the American Agent here. I think this is one of the later ones. But I got Messenger of Truth. This one is book 4. So I now have 1, 2, 3, 4. And An Incomplete Revenge is book 5. The Mapping of Love and Death is book 7. And then this one is probably 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. This is probably 17-ish. I'm not really sure. So I have a variety of Maisie Dobbs, a few holes to fill, but I'll work on that. Then I got another Agatha Christie here. This one is Lord Edgware Dies. And this one is a Poirot book, and I'll read the first paragraph because by the time I get to this one, I'll forget it. When Lord Edgware is found murdered, the police are baffled. His estranged actress wife was seen visiting him just before his death, and Poirot himself heard her brag of her plan to get rid of him. But how could she have stabbed Lord Edgware in his library at exactly the same time she was seen dining with friends? Dun, 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 dun. And then I had a couple of dollars left to get free shipping because I like to hit that $35 free shipping mark. And so I added this one because it was $3-ish. Someone Named Eva. It says, Melada struggles to hang on to her identity and her hope. I don't know if that's how you say her name. But her grandmother says those words, remember who you are. Her grandmother says those words on the night the Nazi soldiers come to their home in Czechoslovakia. Oh, I don't know if I've read anything set there before. So this is middle grade historical fiction, and I looked it up on Goodreads. I started doing that. I've been a little bit smarter, and I find since I've been doing that, I've been reading better books. It has really good reviews, so I thought I'd give this one a try. It is actually, I think, quite old. Copyright 2007, so it's not like it's a new book. Okay, that was all for Book Outlet. And now I have 2 stacks of secondhand books. So on the evening before my birthday, my husband and I went on a date, and I wanted to go to the secondhand bookstore that I know and just buy books. And then I thought, you know, I have some books that I've unhauled that I could maybe get some money for. So then I went back and I got even more books. So yeah, okay, I'll show you, what do I got here? I'll show you 2 stacks here. One stack very much has a theme, and this other one is mostly the books I got the first time around. So I got The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. This is one of the books on my list of 50 classics I want to read before I die, and Jared has already read it. Every time I get science fiction or fantasy books, anytime I buy them, he like reads them before I even have time to haul them, because that's very much his genre. He likes to read. I wanted to pick this up because Murphy recently talked about it in a reading vlog. I've been really enjoying her reading vlogs. I don't really watch her other channel so much, but her reading vlog channel is a fun time. So I wanted to read it, and it was actually on my list of 50 classics to read before I die, and I didn't actually even realize that, so I have it now. I hear it's weird, but like also funny, so I'll read that one. And then I got, okay, the rest of these in this one stack are all historical fiction. I got the Prague Counterpoint. This is book 2 in the Zion Covenant series. Now this series is old. This was published in 1989. I read book 1 pre-booktube and loved it because it is set just before World War II takes place, and it's in Austria, and I just found it fascinating. I really enjoyed book 1, and now I'm finally going to read book 2 years later. I don't know if we're going to follow our same, it looks like we follow our same main character. Her name is Alyssa, and she was a violinist in an orchestra or something, from what I remember, in Austria just before World War II. And now we continue with her, it looks like. So I'm excited to continue that series. Then I found a Susan Meisner book, A Bridge Across the Ocean. I've now read 2 of her books, really enjoyed them. I think I really need to organize my shelves better. I think I have one more of hers on my shelf, and then now this one. So I'm really excited to continue reading her. Then this is probably the most recommended historical fiction book to me, and that is The Last Bookshop in London. It's a World War II novel. That's all I know. I guess I didn't say what this one is. It's probably also World War II. Oh, this is 1946. Interesting. Okay, I'll read a little bit about this, then we'll go into the other one. World War II is over, but the recovery from the most intimate of its horrors has only just begun for Anneliese, a German ballerina desperate to escape her past, and Simone, the wrong daughter of a French resistance spy. And then there's present day. So that will be interesting. Anyway, this one is inspired by the true World War II history of the few bookshops to survive the Blitz. The Last Bookshop in London is a timeless story of wartime loss, love, and the enduring power of literature. I mean, if it has to do with a bookstore, obviously I'm down for that. So that one's got really good reviews by people that think I would really like it. And then this one is one that I know some of you guys have read and enjoyed and mentioned, and I have a friend that read it recently and really enjoyed it, and that is The Book of Lost Names. Now this is also like World War II, ish, has those elements, but I guess it's modern day. A Florida librarian is at the return desk one morning when her eyes lock onto a photograph in a newspaper. It's an image of a book she hasn't seen in 65 years, one she recognizes as the Book of Lost Names. It's a mysterious code that researchers can't decipher. Only Eva holds the key, because in 1942 she escaped Paris after the rest of her Jewish-Polish father. So I'm assuming that's like the name of the kids that were placed in different homes during World War II of Jewish children. So that I think will be great. And then this one also had good reviews, I'm pretty sure, on Goodreads. It's The Paris Library. Once again, it has like book vibes, so I'm there for that. This one I do not think is Christian fiction. I don't know if any of these historical fiction ones that I shared just now are, other than Prague Counterpoint. So there's definitely another historical, World War II, Paris 1939 and Montana 1983. In 1939, she's working at the American Library in Paris, and then World War II breaks out, and then, oh, we follow her, same character. Her name is Odile, I don't know how to pronounce her name, in 1983, and she's in Montana. Interrupted by her neighbor Lily, a lonely teenager craving adventure. Based on the true story of the American Library in Paris. Oh, that will be good. I think that will be good. Okay, so then that was like the first stack of my books from the second-hand bookstore, and then most of these I got when I went back, and there's a definite golden age mystery novel theme here. First of all, I got Agatha Christie's The Clocks. I don't know anything about this one. It says the house at Wilbraham's Crescent. To think that it was the house where it all happened. It looked ever so nice, net curtains and all. What are net curtains? Yet a man had been killed there with a kitchen knife. So, all the Agatha Christie I don't know, I'm trying to gather. And the mysterious Mr. Quinn. The wind rose in a mournful wail. As it died away, there came 3 loud knocks on the big nailed door. Oh, yes, Harley Quinn. So he is in a lot of her short stories. This might be, I'm not sure if this is different short stories or if this is an actual, like, single novel with him. I don't really want to check too much to see. So did I get any more Agatha Christie? Yes, I did. One more. I got 1-2 Buckle My Shoe, and this one is a Poirot mystery. It says it was shortly after his 12:30 appointment that Dr. Morley was found with a bullet through his right temple. Oh, this one I did find at a little free library. I forgot about it. It's an Ellis Peters Funeral of Figaro. It's an operatic whodunit, and I don't know if I've heard of Ellis Peters before, but I figured I would give it a try. It was free, and it's supposed to be a whodunit mystery. Also, I'm kind of jealous because back in the day, apparently you could get this book, the 2 of them, for 99 cents. So that's unfortunate. You definitely can't get that now. I didn't look this one up at all. I have no idea if it has good reviews, but it's copyright 1962. Then I got a really cool vintage looking Dorothy L. Sayers, In the Teeth of the Evidence. So this is a Lord Peter Wimsey book. I'm not sure which number it is of his stories, but I think I'm going to try to read them in order. Oh wait. Oh, these are short stories. So we've got 2 Lord Peter Wimsey stories. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Montague Egg stories. And I recently read a Montague Egg. I didn't realize he was in more stories. I read The Poisoned Dow and then some year, I don't remember. And then she's got some other stories here. Okay, cool. I didn't know those were short stories. I was just really excited about all the books. Okay, then I still don't know how to pronounce his name. I meant to look it up. Dashiell Hammett, The Maltese Falcon. So I read one of his short stories back at the beginning of May as well, and enjoyed it. And there was numerous copies of The Maltese Falcon at the secondhand store, so I figured they probably were, it was probably a popular one, so I want to give that one a try. Then I got 2 Josephine Tey books. I got The Man in the Queue and The Daughter of Time. There was also tons of copies of The Daughter of Time. I seriously went for the cheapest ones I could find. Pretty much all of these were $4, but I brought a bunch of books in and I didn't have to pay anything. I got 75 cents back. Then someone recently recommended Georgette Heyer to me, and I got her They Found Them Dead. This one I really... okay, They Found Her Dead, and... oh, this one's Death in the Stocks. The killer was so cunning. So is this supposed to be blood? Because it just looks like wax. It looks like sealing wax. It's so bumpy. Not a huge fan of this cover, but this part makes me laugh because it's so very obviously not blood. So I got those 2. These were, oh, the font is teeny tiny. First published in 1935 for Death in the Stocks. And then I got 1 Patricia Wentworth. This is Grey Mask. This is a Miss Silver mystery. Right, they actually had quite a few Miss Silver mysteries, and I believe this one's the first one. This was first published in 1928. So I got quite a few old mysteries. And if you guys have more ideas of good detective stories, especially like old ones, they had tons there. I was like on Goodreads and on Google trying to find different authors. And I got a little bit overwhelmed. So I tried to stick with ones that I kind of saw the names pop up multiple times, and I think I got a really good selection there, but I'm open to going back to the store anytime. So there you have it. There is my latest book haul, my last one for a little bit, I think, maybe. No promises though. Let me know what I should kind of dig into first here, what you're most excited to see me read next. Thanks for watching, guys.